Hello world and welcome to my channel. This video is on solar panel. I'm testing my 240 watt solar blanket, the new one. Because it's a cloudy day, you can't get a perfect day. I'm then adding in a 120 watt solar blanket as well and show you what currents you can get achieved from the two of them. One blanket, sure, it can put out up over nearly 2 watts, but you're never going to get a perfect day. This way you can get a lot of current going in fairly quickly, charge the batteries up. So I hope you like this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe. Cheers. Well, today is probably the best day I've had for a while. The sun is out, but there is cloud in the sky. It's not thick cloud, luckily. I'm going to try the solar blanket again on the windscreen. It's about 10:20 in the morning, and the sun is on an angle to the side like that, up in the sky. So it's getting fairly direct, but not quite. So over the next couple of hours, it should go from being slightly off to on, then off again. So that's what I'm going to do, set that up and then check my battery monitor. Yeah, so I just set up my table so I can get directly onto the battery monitor from here. It's probably as close as I can get it. So I'll leave that on there. You can see it's 83%. Yeah, so I will put it on there when I get ready with the solar blanket and I'll show you. Okay, as I've said, it's not a bright sunny day, it's an average day. So you do have to expect this when you're out camping. You're never going to get fully bright days every day. So I'm just hoping that you can see that. Looks to me like you can see it. So at the moment, as I said, the batteries are 98 amp hours left, and it's 83%. So I'm going to plug it in now, and you can see that the voltage is 13.2. I'm drawing 0.08 of an amp because the fridge is on, and it's 1.18 watts, I suppose you can say. So this fridge is cycling, it's not running full time. So that's what I'm going to do now. I hope you can see that. Battery ran out, had to go change batteries. Anyway, I'll plug in the solar blanket now. Okay, I just plugged in the solar blanket and just waiting for it to settle down. As I said, it's not a very bright sunny day, but it's an average day. And that's why you need more solar than you really need, because you're never going to get a perfect day and a perfect line to the sun. At the moment, putting out 8 amps around about. 7.5, 8 amps. So as I said, it's cloudy, it's not a perfect day, but this is probably a day you're going to get when you're in the bush. It's probably the best day we've had up here for a while, on a weekend anyway, that I've had time to do this. So I'm going to leave it on for a while and just show you what happens. Might even, I can't move it anywhere, so it's the best we'll get. So, okay, 10 amps, 10.7, yeah, so it hit 10.7 amps just then when the sun come out. As I said, the fridge is running. I could turn that fridge off a little while, which might help. I'll try and turn the fridge off and see what is actually putting in. See, 10, hit 10 again there. It's on 9 now. Ten 10.2, 10.3, 10.8, 11, hit 11 there. So 11, 13.3 amps it went in. 12, I might turn this fridge off and just test it. Okay, my fridge is off. Settle down at the moment because it's cloudy. It's about 6.5 amps are going in to the battery. when you're doing tests like this, you really got to work on average days. You can't work on perfect days. So I would consider today an average day for North Queensland. At the moment 7.3 amps. $102 watts. Hit 170 watts then. I might just turn this off until I can get a better sunny position. Some thick cloud is starting to come over. $178, $181, $182, $184, $185 watts. Yeah, so it's really pumping it out. Now the sun's come out. I was even considering adding in my 170 watts steady now with the sun out. So it's still cloudy, but it's the sun is behind the cloud, but it's only very light cloud. It's not a pure sunny day. 152 watts. So yeah, you can see the type of day it is with the sun behind the cloud. So I'm thinking this is going to be good. 145 watts, 141. The battery's up to 104 amp hours. 87%. Pumping in around 9.4 amps. Goes up and peaks, of course, but so I'm impressed with the solar blanket so far. I might just try adding another one and see how it goes. See what I can get out the two. That'll give me 360 watts of current. Yeah, see, it's gone back to 65 watts because of the sun. Yeah, I just pulled out the plug, so my voltage went down, and I plugged it back in again. Try a different angle, see if it's any better. Okay, I just plugged my other solar blanket in, pumping out 213 watts, 210. I've got 14.6 amps around about going in now, 191 watts. Yeah, so that's the two I'll be taking if I go anywhere. So I got a King's 120 watt solar blanket and a King's 240 watt solar blanket, and they're plugged into a Y connector and feeds into the one Edison plug. Yeah, so you can say 220 I can get out of it. Look at that, averaging 200 amps, 200 watts now. 14.3 amps. Yeah, that's impressive. Let's take in. Hard to see it from where I am. Just I can support it there. Might give you a better idea. Still heavy cloud up there, but it's pumping in now constantly 11.7 amps. Hard to get a good light on this. Anyway. Even when it's heavy cloud, it's still pumping in 6.5 amps, 105 amps hours in the battery now, 89% charged. $201 watts, 200 watts. $16 amps of current going in now. 219 watts, 217, 221, 222. 15.8 amps going in. 220, 22, 21, 20, 15.8 amps. Yeah, so 15.8 amps an hour, that will charge, you know, a 30 amp hour down battery in 2 hours. 225, 206, 228, 29, 231, 35, 37, 39, 40, 240 watts are going in. 200 and nearly 250 watts went in there then. So that's good. Gives me what idea I can do with it on an average day. So I can get 250 watts with the two blankets together. Just, you know, constantly feeding at least 8 amps in there, 9 amps, 10 amps, 12, 13, 15, 16, 17 amps are going in, 18 amps, 260 watts a hit, 270 watts, 275 watts, 283 watts, 294 watts. 20 amps of current are being poured into that battery through the Redarc DC charger. Nearly 300 watts, wow. I'm excited. 275 watts. When the sun comes out, it really pumps it out. 274 watts. 271, 19.7 amps are going in. Cruising along at 240 watts at the moment. I am excited about this. You can't probably tell. 106 amp hours are in the battery now, 90% remaining to go, 90% charged, 200 watts, constantly putting around 14 amps. $215, $222, $24, $30, $230 watts. So I would consider this to be a good setup. The two blankets, the 240 watt and the 120 watt of King's blankets, those two together, they're roughly the same voltage, very close, so you're not getting any loss there. I wonder if we can break 300. After this cloud goes past, there should be a gap in the sun. Might just turn it off until that gap comes. you're coming into a patch of sun. 247 watts have been pumped in, 18.1 amps. Still cloud up there, but 250. But there's a patch of a lighter cloud. I'd like to see it go over 300. 42 watts, 17.9, 18.3 amps. $260 watts, 270 watts, 280 watts are going in now. .3 amps of current. Wow, impressive. .72 watts, 273, 274 watts, 20.0 amps of current, 275 watts, 276, 277, 278, 279 watts, behind cloud at the moment, but it's still pumping out 16.2 amps. .235 watts of current going in, or 16.9 amps of current. Just wait for this cloud to go past. As I said before, this is with 2 solar blankets on. It's the 240 watt King solar blanket and the King's 120 watt solar blanket in parallel. They're pumping that current straight into here, which gives me 360 watts of current, of availability of solar blanket. And this is the setup I'd probably be using a lot of the times. It just depends how much the battery is drawn down overnight. Especially running freezer and fridge, it'll be down a bit. Running lights and some cooking facilities. But to me it's impressive. I'll just take you up and show you the sky. See the cloud? Behind a big thick cloud at the moment up there. And there's thick cloud coming across pretty rapidly from the south. So as I say, this is an average day, but not a perfect day. And when you're out there camping, you cannot depend on perfect days every day. You have to work on average days, and that's probably why I recommend you get as much solar blanket or panels as you can afford. Even the 240 watt blankets together would be good. I already had the 120 and I'm not going to buy another one. I'm impressed with the 360 watts I've got now of current. So that's it. I might end this video now because it is not going to improve at all the day. And I want to charge this battery up. It's around 93% at the moment. Yeah, they're the two solar blankets I got on. That's the 240 watt Kings. That's the 120 watt Kings blanket. I got them on the car. If it's 360 watts, I can get on the front of the car. If not, I put them on the ground or put them somewhere else. But for this test I've been doing, that's how I've had it. And as I said, they plug in through a Y cable. So one blanket into one and one like the other. They feed into one Anderson plug, which then goes into the Redarc DC charger. It's just the cables I keep down here. Another one of these, I can put another blanket in if I want. And I've got a couple of watt meters there as well. I'm just going to leave that there for the moment. Well, I hope you like this video. If you do, please give me a thumbs up and subscribe.